Commence primary ignition.
What's up, guys? I'm Emily Swallow. If you're looking at this, you're watching the Virtual Cantina Network. This is the way.
Welcome, citizens of the Republic, to another episode of Clone Wars Revisited. It's going to be a special episode tonight, unlike our usual episodes where we're watching along with the show. Going into the intricacies of this episode, we've got a special guest tonight, Anna Graves, otherwise known to us as Duchess Satine. Is here to talk about all her Star Wars endeavors and all the history of becoming Duchess Satine and answering a bunch of questions for us tonight. So I'm going to turn this over to Mark, let him start off with question number one.
Hi. Well, first, welcome, Anna. Thank you so much for being here.
What's going on, everybody? And you can say Anna. I'm from the South, so it's Anna. And I know it always depends on where you're from, if it's Anna or Anna. But ever since Frozen, I get a lot of, is it Anna or Anna?
I corrected everyone, telling them.
Oh
to say
yeah,
Anna.
I got scolded yesterday for saying Anna. So
Nope, it's Anna.
I literally have it written down with one A. So
The Southern guy did it.
It's okay. If everybody switches it up the whole time, please don't apologize. Just do whatever comes naturally.
Well, I am so excited to have royalty in the building.
Yes.
The Duchess has arrived. We are Clone Wars stands, obviously, on the show, and we told you a little bit about how we're rewatching the entire series, and we are entering season 2,
You guys
which
are
is
in the
when
thick of it right now.
we're getting there because the bounty hunters are loose, and we are going to be heading to Mandalore. And we're actually going to be doing some things with you in real life as well, which is why we had to make sure we got you on the show around this time here in June. As announced earlier on the network, you'll be attending our Boonta Eve event attached to Rebel Scum Con this August. So we're going to be thrilled to talk more about that. But with many people joining the chat and everything, we're going to keep an eye on questions coming from the crew. But we prepared a few of our own. I think our biggest Southern royalty.
Hey, Southern royalty. Thank
Dave
you.
knows.
We are thrilled to have you. We wanted to ask you a little bit about how you got into voice acting in general. So I know you moved out to LA, and then I know you have some great audition stories as well. So if you'd love to tell us how you got into voice acting, and then specifically what brought you into Star Wars.
Yeah. Oh God, that was a loaded question, Mark. There's a lot to unpack there.
A lot. Take your time.
I'm gonna give you the short version, and then if you want more elaboration, then you can say, "Tell us more about that." But yeah, so I grew up loving acting, doing stage stuff as a kid. Right, Memphis, Tennessee. Knew I wanted to be an actor. Wanted to either move to Chicago to do improv and be on Saturday Night Live, or move to LA and be an actress. And ended up moving to LA, and I was working at a movie advertising company who did movie trailers, and I was doing theater at night for free. And a lot of the editors knew that I was an actor, so they were asking me to do what's called ADR, or looping, to replace the actresses in the films when they would need a line here or a line there that didn't exist in the film, right? So I did some crazy stuff. I did a really fun one for Jodie Foster, and it was great because the editor recorded. So he had the record of the session where she came in to replace me, and she listened to my voice, and she said, "Well, what am I listening to right now?" And I said, "Oh, that's just a sound alike." And she said, "That's a really good sound alike." And I was like, "Oh my God, Jodie Foster just endorsed me." So that was kind of the beginning. At that point, I was already taking classes and knew I wanted to be a voice actor. So I took lots of voice acting classes for over a year or more. Of course, I had studied acting for years before that. Got an agent. The agent got me the audition for Star Wars: The Clone Wars, and I have the audition if you guys want to hear my Duchess Satine audition. It's really embarrassing though. This is why I didn't want to send it to you. I was like, I don't know if I want this in the world.
We got a little taste beforehand, guys, and let me tell you, this is
love to
amazing.
hear it.
Can you remind us, when was it again? You said 2007?
So just remember, 2007, the show had not been anywhere close to started, or maybe they had started season 1. So maybe they had cast. Nope, nothing had been cast. I don't know about James. You'd have to talk to James and Matt, but they were definitely still auditioning for core members of the show, including Ahsoka, because the audition that came across my desk was Duchess Satine, and I thought, great. And they were asking for a regal, sort of a British, voice. I was like, I can do that. And Elizabeth was it's an old at this point movie with Cate Blanchett playing a very regal, tough version of the original Queen Elizabeth. And that was who I based her on. So this is just an audition. Now you'll notice the lines are exactly the same, but the voice, not so much. I do think I gave her more weight and more reality, and Lord knows my accent got better. So listening, my husband, this came across on his playlist just a few days ago. He said, hey, I was driving home and I asked Siri to just play some music for me, and the first thing that popped up was your Duchess Satine. Oh no. How was it? He said, you sounded so young. Like,
Oh,
that's because I
man.
was, man. It was 2007. So here you go. I don't think I've ever played this for anybody before. The Duchess Satine audition that I did from home, that got me the callback, that got me the job.
Anna Graves.
I'm going to oppose it because it is an affront to life itself. As the designated regent of 1,500 systems, I speak for thousands of worlds that have urged me to vote against this war. You are quite the general now, aren't you, Master Kenobi? Really? Senators, I presume you're acquainted with the collection of half-truths and hyperbole known as Obi-Wan Kenobi. I remember a time when Jedi were not generals, but peacekeepers. What an amusing contradiction. General, this line of interrogation borders on torture. Monster, you're a horrid monster. Just because I'm a pacifist doesn't mean I believe in taking chances.
That's it.
Wow. That's amazing.
So for my true fans out there, you'll notice that was from Voyage of Temptation, because that was the only episode that Duchess Satine was supposed to appear in.
Wow.
Oh, really?
But then they brought me back, and Dave Filoni and I sat down, and he said, so you're back to do some more Duchess Satine. George really loved your character, loved it so much that we have bookended it with an episode before the last episode that you recorded and one afterwards. So you're back for
Wow.
2 more episodes.
Wow.
So you got the
that's
George
crazy
stamp
good.
of approval.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's crazy. I mean, anytime you're talking to Dave, I myself have never met George Lucas. I've been to the ranch. I've gotten to sit in his screening room and watch Clone Wars episodes there. But to hear Dave Filoni say, George likes this, George likes that, George wants this, it's just such a great feeling. And because I grew up a Star Wars fan. So this was the beginning of me being sort of welcomed into this world.
Well, you got Jodie Foster and George Lucas. How
Yeah.
much higher can you get?
Thank you, Skip. This feel pretty
Double
good, right?
stamp.
No complaints. But so they brought me in for a callback for Duchess Satine. And while I was there, the wonderful Sue Blue, who was doing the casting at the time, she said, I have this other character that I want you to try. She's a young Jedi. Why don't you just go out in the hall and work on it? So she gave me the script for Ahsoka. And I just didn't know what to make of it because, as you know, up until that point, there had not been a youngling or someone young who was adventurous and spirited and courageous and needing a mentor and leading all those things that Ahsoka encompasses. So I don't think I really knew what to do with the audition. And I left not feeling good about Ahsoka, but feeling like, oh, I rocked Duchess Satine. And as an actor, what you do is if you rock an audition, you know that you did the best you could do and you leave. And that's it, that your job, that part of the job is over because it's out of your hands. Like you have nothing to do with it after that point. You can't make it happen. It's either going to or it's not. So if I thought about all the auditions I didn't get, I would be a very sad person because I audition several times a day and I don't get the majority of those. So that's this business is not for the thin-skinned.
Yeah, entertainment is very tricky like that. I've been working on licensed product for a long time, so I'm like adjacent to it, and I see how challenging it is. Well, congratulations. I feel like it worked out. Like you were like born to be Satine. The voice, that voice is close. I hear it in there. I know that she's not exactly there, but like it is very, very close, and that's amazing. Thank you for sharing that with us.
And also, it has that
15 years ago.
Mandalorian edge when you're like fighting back. You can tell, and I love it so much. So phenomenal.
And that was one of the things I loved about her. I loved her spirit, and I loved her. She definitely had the fight, and she knew that she wanted to take her people in a different direction than where it had been going in the past. But some of my favorite scenes were where I was just being challenged, or I was challenging someone, or I was challenging Obi-Wan, and we were fighting and spatting and all those things. And I think that's why people fell in love with their relationship, was because of that, just like combativeness. And I guess, in the second episode that I recorded was the first episode that you guys saw, was the one where he got captured and I get to come rescue him. I was like, this is huge. I'm rescuing Obi-Wan Kenobi right now.
For sure.
It was great.
It's one of my favorites of the entire Clone Wars series because it's like, how often does Obi-Wan need to get rescued? Anakin, it's like twice a week, but Obi-Wan, he always has a plan to get out of something.
Yeah,
and she did it. She saved the day.
That felt like a big honor.
I like Sarah's comment over here. I'm going to put up on the screen. She had the Mando fire and used it to forge a new path.
Absolutely, this is the way.
Yeah. By the way, we got to talk about how Mandalorian culture has infused itself into all of Star Wars, because that's a whole other stream. But at the time, I thought it was so interesting that like Duchess Satine was a pacifist who knew how to wield a blaster and kicked all the ass. She only did so when she had to, though. It was very Jedi, which was so interesting at the time because that was sort of the way the Jedi were supposed to behave, but were not behaving in the moment of the Clone Wars. That was the tension.
That's interesting that you say that, because I do wonder if her time with the Jedi, if her time with Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan, if that impressed upon her something, which I think is why fans have always said, I would love to see some stories about your time there.
Yes.
And together, because we obviously influenced each other or had an effect on each other. And that would be amazing.
Can we ask a bit about Obi-Wan specifically? So
no, I don't talk about Obi-Wan, Mark. I can't talk about it.
Well, we have two paths on this too, because there's the character and then there's the actor. So James Arnold Taylor is a friend of the show. We love him.
James Arnold Taylor I'll talk about all day, but Obi-Wan, so controversial.
It is, right? I think it's interesting that Obi-Wan has this secret life that we find out about in the Clone Wars. Going into that, what did you know? Like, what would Dave and George tell you about that relationship? Did they give any inklings? And do you have any headcanon yourself about where that would have gone or where that went? And there, I know there's some open-ended questions in this space.
No. And you know how memories work, and you know how you have these core memories, right? Inside out, right? What are our core memories? What are our sad memories? What are our happy memories? I wish that every moment I spent on the Clone Wars set was a core memory, but it's not, because I think half the time you're thinking, okay, we're having this conversation and he's telling me how he feels about what's happening. But in a few minutes, I need to go in there and deliver, and I need to be in front of the microphone, and I'm going to work. So, okay, how am I going to do that? So you're processing, you're thinking about it, right? So I'm sure there was much speculation and things that we talked about that, when we joked about. I do remember joking about it too, like, just saying, oh, if only the fans knew, we had this whole romance. It was a torrid affair. So of course it's alluded to, of course it's the, the underlying feelings of the characters, but we definitely joked about more than what you saw on the screen. So, but I don't remember anything specific being but we'll get, I think you're going to probably ask me about that later, so I won't get into that, but the whole 5th season situation and what
that
happened.
question is solely reserved for Mr. Val Nolan, because he has his question. But
I have thoughts. I'm going to kick it to Ashley to keep going, because I have to hold back some of I have a lot of headcanon that needs addressing.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it was also a fine line because George knew Jedi could not have attachments. And he knew that Obi-Wan was trying to walk the straight and narrow when it comes to that. And that was the struggle within. But it was also the choice. That was the choice he made.
Agreed.
And that's all I have to say about that.
So you said you were a big Star Wars fan before you auditioned for the role of Satine.
Yeah.
What was your favorite thing about it growing up? Like, what pulled you into the universe and made you such a fan?
Gosh, Princess Leia.
Yeah.
Princess Leia.
Yes,
Oh,
the
that's
Mighty
hilarious.
Bugs. I love her.
Princess Leia.
Oh, there she is. That's you.
Nice.
But I mean, so in 1983, when Return of the Jedi came out, I was 5. So I don't remember going to see it in the theater, but I definitely watched it at home. And I have a picture somewhere of me, next to the Christmas tree with my Ewoks. So I had Wicket under one arm, and then, what's her name? Cree Summers' character from the animated series.
Oh, the girl in pink. Yes.
Right. So she's a gray Ewok with a pink, the head wrap. So, I mean, and I still have them. So they were just, adorable to me. And yeah, there you go.
The Ice-Capades show. I mean, this is insanity, right? And there
Nisa.
she is.
Her name is Nisa. I just saw her and then I remembered. So Nisa and Wicket. And I don't even remember their relationship.
And we didn't plan this. We're just both children of Endor. That is our time frame.
That is what's happening. So, and you'll remember after that they made the film, the Endor films with the little kids getting stranded on Endor and the Ewoks helping them and all that stuff. So, I mean, I think all of that pulled me in. And I remember my brother had some books, not graphic novels per se, but they were novels of the story, and then there were pictures. I remember there were glossy pictures of the films inside of them, the novelizations of them, of the films, and I just got sucked in. I had all the books on tape and the books on with the record, anything that went along with Star Wars. So, and I still have my VHS trilogy, the box set, right? So it's 3 VHS tapes, and then you open it up like this. It has flaps. So I just watched them over and over again a lot, like when I was a kid, and I love them. So when I got to audition for the Clone Wars, that was a really big deal to me. Also, I was not aware of the Clone Wars that had existed a few years before that. So so I became aware of that when I started working on this version. And which
James had worked with,
Exactly. And he filled me in on when we met at the first recording. We had never met before we recorded the episode.
Oh, wow.
So Anna, I'm old enough to have seen Star Wars in the movie theaters when it first came out. I'm the old guy of the bunch.
No, you're the OG 77 crew.
Yeah, the OG, and I have, interestingly enough, I have, you'd think that, because I grew up in that era, that would be my favorite. That would be what I locked onto. And I do love A New Hope. But over the years, I've gained some adoration for other pieces of the property. But what's your favorite? I mean, is it what you were in? Did you have something that you grew up with? Or what was your favorite content?
Empire Strikes Back was always my favorite. I loved it so much. I loved that Luke was going off on his own adventure and Han and Leia were thrown together, not meaning to be, and in this adventurous situation. And so that was, it's just always been my favorite. And then other than that, I of course have an affinity for Clone Wars, but I'm not going to say, but I have like a special attachment to it, not just because I'm in it, but because I think when you get to create a character, you just like become connected with it in an emotional way that you're not used to. So, 100%. I mean, my phone is called Duchess,
Yes.
Love it.
I have not named any of my pets Duchess, thankfully, but yeah, no, I have a connection with that. But my husband, on the other hand, he's so funny. He does not love the OG trilogy. He really doesn't have an affinity for Clone Wars other than episodes I'm in. He's a big supporter, but he's a Rogue One fan all the way. He's a Rogue One fan. So we watched an episode of Andor today. So that's his. But he's like a spy guy. He's not necessarily a sci-fi guy. He's a spy guy.
Oh, that's definitely a Star Wars for spy guys.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Now, did you read books as well? You were talking about, some of the other content, and Troy out there was asking earlier. Have you done any books on Audible or anything like that, where you voice those?
Oh, thank you for asking. And no, I have not. I actually have just recently decided that I need to get into that. So was kind of looking at ACX, which is it ACX is Amazon's. I just did a really fun thing for Disney for Audible, which I can't talk about yet, but I was so excited to do it because I was playing these kind of like teacher characters and, young mom characters that I was like, that's it. That's my character. So, but yeah, I would love to do some young adult stuff, or just doing Star Wars books would be a dream. I know my friend, is it Kat's done some stuff, right? Kat Tabor,
Kat
do you
Tabor.
know?
Yeah.
Right? She's done a lot of.
She's done some Padme stuff, I believe.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because that's who she played in Clone Wars.
Absolutely. But me, not yet, but I haven't tried to. Audiobooks are kind of their own thing in the voiceover world. Your agent doesn't really help you get those jobs. So it's up to you to make those connections or to create a path for yourself. And then it's also a lot of work. So for the most part, you record on your own, and then you don't get paid for the full amount of work that you do. You get paid for the hours per finished hour. So however many hours the record ends up being, you get paid for those hours, not the hours it takes to make it. And you also have to be a stellar editor, self-editor, not going back and doing 1,000 pickups, because you have a lot of words to go through when you're an audiobook voice actor.
Publishing is a beast, and it must be very different than the standard voice acting for video games and TV shows and everything.
Yes.
I can't imagine managing all that. And before we jumped on, you have some other things brewing in that space where you're teaching and all that. We want to hear about all the various streams you have. So tell us about that.
Yeah. So the pandemic hit and I started working from home, which was crazy. And I knew that I had wanted to start teaching before that. So I had met with one casting company and I was set up, ready to teach my first animation class the week that everything shut down. It was so sad.
Yeah.
So about a year later, cut to spring of 2021, she called me and she said, "Do you want to teach online?" And I said, "Yes, absolutely." And then around this, and that was for Kalmanson and Kalmanson here in Los Angeles. And then at the same time, Jennifer Hale started her awesome website, skillshub.life/acting. So it's Skills Hub for acting. So I do private coaching for that website, and every now and then I do group workshops where we do specific things. And then for Kalmanson, I do animation classes and foundation classes for beginner voice actors and also voice actors who have acting experience. And then tomorrow night I'm doing, I think I told you, for Real Voice LA, I'm doing a brand new workshop. I've never done anything with them, but I ran into a dear old friend of mine who used to work at my agent, and she said, "Oh, I'm working at Real Voice LA. Do you want to come teach sometime?" And I said, "Yeah." So that's what you get for going to brunch on the other side of town and running into somebody that you didn't know. You get that's what this town is. You run into each other and you work together. But I love teaching because I want to be a voice director someday for animation and video games. So teaching affords me an opportunity to work with students of all knowledge of acting and voice acting, whether you're a beginner and a novice or a veteran actor. So it's been really great. I love teaching.
That's incredible. And that's so Real Voices, skillshub.life. That's the Jennifer Hale's. By the way, Jennifer Hale, also from the Clone Wars, Isla Sakura, and a wonderful actress. And she has a million credits too. It's very cool. I want to take a quick break right here because we have so many questions in the chat, and I just want to put a couple comments up on the screen because people are so delighted that you are here. I have to scroll all the way up to the top to make sure I didn't miss anyone. We have a lot of hello theres that I just want to show you.
Hello
that,
there. Hello, friends.
Obi-Wan is with us. Hello there.
Jason, Sarah.
Hello there. Hello there.
Hello there.
We have a lot of that. And
Chantel. Hello.
The royalty.
David. Y'all know it.
Season 2, 14
There we go.
We will be rewatching season 2. Hello there. Hello there. OMG.
Oh, is it Karis?
Hi, Karis is here.
Oh, we met in Chattanooga. I love her. She's a brilliant cosplayer.
We're going to ask you about your costumes, and there are some amazing Satine cosplayers, and I know you've dressed up as her for some specific things, which we're going to get into.
I have a Her Universe dress right here. I'm not going to put it on today, but I got it.
I was so stoked when I saw that on the mannequin at, I believe it was New York Comic Con. It was just absolutely stunning. I was like, about damn time that we have a Satine.
It's about damn time.
Line. But I'm so excited for you. It's beautiful. It's
John,
perfect.
look at Google Maps. Yes.
You're going to be our new Siri.
May the force be with you on your journey to work today. Take a left. Take the next right in 200 feet.
We've got to do a bit like that. Maybe in Texas, we'll do a little silly video of us doing directions of how to get from the hotel to the event.
Oh my God,
with you as Siri. That would be incredible.
I love it.
Oh, here we go. This is on a different series. Call up everyone you know at Lucasfilm and just, swing by the ranch and give them this idea. So what if of Obi-Wan and Satine,
Good call.
Stuff.
Thank you, China.
Who else do we have? I just want to make sure that I want everyone in the chat to know that we are seeing your comments and we are going to get into, you're on the run right now. We are going to get into a bunch of these questions as well. But okay. Ashley, you had a question.
Yeah, I was again regarding the cosplay and everything. Your favorite costume? I know Satine is kind of like the Mandalorian Padme is, in as far as her outfits and how highly regarded she is, being royalty and all. What is your favorite Satine look?
I mean,
and did you get to check out any of the concept art and be like, I like this? I like this.
Yes. So I saw the concept art for her original, what you're seeing here on the screen with the headpiece and the adornment and the jewelry. And I feel like that's her classic Mandalorian outfit, right? That's her her nod to her culture and her people. I love the season 5 outfit and but it doesn't change, right, between those 2 episodes and for the Lawless. But the blue, because it's kind of, I always call it her action suit. So it's great down there in the pink. There you go. So you're seeing me with the pink. That's my I'm gonna get on a speeder and go save Obi-Wan look. That's my action suit, which I think was really fun. But the blue with the collar, I loved that so much. That blue that blue suit in the 5th season.
And that's when Obi-Wan's in the red Mando armor. So that joint photo of the two of you together, the red and the blue, and you're both sort of action ready, is fantastic.
Yeah. But the fact that they gave her a cloak too when she was on the run was so classic Star Wars. It's just cloaks, right? Am I right?
Everyone running from the law is in this like very conspicuous, obvious hoodie thing, and I'm like, those are all the criminals. Just go start tackling them.
Just look for hoods. We're good.
Yeah.
It's
Blue
kind of
hoods
like
and you are in trouble.
it's kind of like in Thor Ragnarok. Like you're in disguise. Yeah, you can't see it's me if I do
No.
that.
Cloaks.
You alluded a little bit earlier to recording with James. You said you met him on that first day and everything. Did you get to record with him frequently, and did you get to record with the rest of the cast? Like, was it like a big family thing for your episodes? I know sometimes they have everyone come together, and sometimes it's solo work.
Yes, it was mostly a full cast record. We were all together mostly. So absolutely every scene with James, 100%. Ian Abercrombie playing the Emperor and Darth Sidious. Oh my God, 100%. So great to like be with Ian and watching him work. D. Bradley Baker, rock star. Corey Burton, 100% of the time. Even if Corey wasn't in the episode, he was filling in for someone. So all the scenes that you hear me recording with Darth Maul, it's with Corey Burton.
Really?
Wow.
So Sam, because he had a filming schedule, so we were not able to record together, unfortunately. So the first time I got to meet Sam was at the Return of the Jedi 30th anniversary screening at the Egyptian Movie Theater in Hollywood. So if you Google that, you'll find pictures of the Clone Wars cast, including Tom Kane, who I had never met until that time. But I walked up to Sam and I said, Sam, hey, I'm Anna Graves. I played Duchess Satine. And he said, oh, I am so sorry. And he just hugged me. And I was like, I started laughing. I go, well, so thus began a long history of when we saw each other, him apologizing, up to a couple of months ago. We were on the strike line together because yes, actors are still on strike for video games. And I was like, Sam, hey. And he goes, oh my gosh, hi. And he said, why do I feel like I have to apologize every time I see you? I said, dude, you're so funny. I said, we're done. I said, we're going to pound it out right now. No more apologies. All is forgiven. He's like, really? And he said, this is it. And so we did a little fist bump and that was it. Sam and I are cool.
Excellent.
We were never not cool. But he's so cute. But I wish we had gotten a chance to record together. We did not. Same with Jon Favreau. I never got to record with Jon Favreau because he was on a different schedule. I saw him walk into the studio one day as I was leaving, but I was too shy to say anything. And, hi, I'm going to be in the scene that you're recording. So I did introduce myself to him. I ran into him at a rap party and I said, hey, we were in the Clone Wars together. And he was like, oh, did we do a scene together? I was like, we did, but not really. And he said, okay. And so I explained and he was like, oh, yeah. And then I got to see John again at Celebration a couple years ago. And I said, hey, Duchess Satine, we were both, and he said, killed by Maul. I know. And I said, that's it. That's not what I was going to say, but
that's horrible.
I love that he said that. And I asked him, I said, do people give you Darth Maul stuff? And he said, yeah, they do. Because just a few minutes before that, the Fig Pin booth, which was right next to us, came over and they were like, oh my God, Duchess Satine. We don't have any Duchess Satine pins, but here's a Darth Maul pin. And I was like, thank you.
My murderer. Lovely. Yeah,
but I still have
my grave.
I love it. I love
You
Fig
should have
Pin.
a club.
I need
A little Kill by Maul club.
Killed by Maul club. Well, it's probably not a small club. It's got to be a big one. So.
Yeah. And to be in company with Jon Favreau as Pre Vizsla, I mean, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, that scene that we were doing where I'm talking to Obi-Wan on the comm and I'm answering John in real life. I wish I remembered who was filling in for John. Probably Corey Burton. Corey, because he's just played so many characters and he was there anyway. So he would just fill in and he's such a brilliant actor. I just adore Corey Burton. He's been such a mentor to me for years and great advice. And I know that anytime I've had to reach out to him or ask a question or ask a favor, hey, we've got this fundraiser, could you do something? He's,
That is lovely to hear. And he
Love
was back this year with Cad Bane on Tales of
Tales of Empire.
the Underworld.
Yeah. Tales of the Underworld. Sorry.
Yeah, no, there's too many tales now. We got the Jedi, the Empire, the Underworld. Hopefully, Tales of Mandalore would be coming next, and we can go back and get some Satine prequel stuff. I would love
From your mouth to the Force's ears.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna put that into the universe,
Honestly,
into the galaxy.
Hot Toys put out a Mandalore disguised Obi-Wan figure, and it was a limited edition. So I am entirely convinced that there is a possibility they will do Satine at some point.
Wow.
So fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
I need my girl.
That brings us back to like what we were saying at the top of the show, that like Mandalore is now part of Star Wars. Like if we think about the OG trilogy, there was Boba Fett, but no one really knew who he was. And then the Clone Wars happened and they introduced us to Satine and this world. And then the Mandalorian TV show comes out and it just keeps growing and growing. Like the average Star Wars fan probably knows Mandalore, which started in Clone Wars season 2, really, with you. Like what's it like being part of this like new universe with all of these really interesting characters and people now?
Oh, it feels good. And it felt good to be the pacifist Mandalorian. I mean, that was huge. And I feel like, I mean, haters going to hate. There were some people who said, this is ridiculous. This doesn't fit. But I think that was the point. So I liked being the contrarian character who was coming in with a different point of view. And I think a lot of people forgave the character's stance on pacifism because of her history with Obi-Wan Kenobi. They were thinking, oh, okay, this is kind of scandalous and cute, so it's okay.
So Anna, Disney has given us the ultimate in Disney princesses. In fact, Star Wars has like probably double or triple the Star Wars princesses. But Satine, another princess per se in the Star Wars world. What was the most compelling part of playing the character? Was it the pacifism or was it something else?
I think it was the fight. I think there were a lot of frustrating scenes that we shot with Satine where she was trying to remain neutral during this very complicated war that was just huge. We think about how big our world is. Think about multiple worlds and multiple, this vast galaxy. And I think that was fun, trying to figure out how she felt and how she stayed calm and how she remained staunch in her beliefs that they needed to remain neutral and do their own thing and not be with one side or the other. That was the most intriguing and challenging thing at the same time.
Interesting.
It's definitely in stark contrast to like Katie Sackhoff's character of Bo-Katan, who aligns herself with Maul and is the opposite. We'll say the opposite of a pacifist. You've already talked at length about James Earl Taylor and Sam Witwer and the other actors in the cast. Did you get to work with Katie at all?
I didn't. No, we got to meet, like, sort of, again, it was she was coming in, I was leaving, but Dave Filoni actually introduced us and said, "Oh, Katie, this is Anna. Anna, this is Katie. You guys are sisters." And we hugged and said, "Oh my gosh, how great this is. This is so exciting. This is huge." I mean, of course, at the time, I knew that she was betraying me, but I didn't know the full extent, and I didn't know everything that was going to happen. I'm trying to remember if we had recorded The Lawless at that point, or because I feel like we were there doing pickups. But yeah, no, she's lovely. I don't know Katie. So I look forward to someday doing a convention with her and getting to know her and like getting to just, I don't know. I think that would be hilarious because she's a huge Star Wars fan. She's a Star Wars fan like me. So,
you'll both be in the same vicinity. You'll be at Boonta Eve the night before Rebel Scum Con. She will be at Rebel Scum Con. I assume we will will this into the universe to have the sisters in the same location at the same time. I can't make any promises right here on the pod.
It will happen eventually. It will happen.
We are so close. I mean, we are feet away from each other at this upcoming event. So, and there are many Mandalorians happening at the Rebel Scum Con. So we're going to figure out how to make this a thing. But I would love for Satine and for Bo-Katan to share a space because we also need to ask them a very, very important question. I was saving this toward the end, but I'm wearing the T-shirt of a particular Mandalorian. His name is Corky Kryze.
Yes.
And for everyone in the chat, I have talked at length about this man for a very, very long time. He seems to have too many aunts and too few parents. And we're curious as to where he might have come from, and if you or Katie could put that rumor to rest.
Yeah, I think it's such a great thought. But no, it's so interesting, like just hearing the theories about Corky and remembering when when Rise of the Skywalkers were coming out too. Same thing with it's like, oh, what's her lineage? Who is it? Is it, So interesting things that take off there. I mean, no, I feel like no, that Corky is not her son. But that's just because I think I'm too close to think that otherwise. But
we love a conspiracy theory here.
But of course, why not? Why not have a conspiracy theory with this? This is a good thing. And also, I mean, the accents are very interesting too. Why does Satine have this regal British accent, and Corky has an accent, and if he's not related to Bo-Katan, then do I have another sibling out there, or am I just am I like auntie, like in the South? Everybody's your auntie. I don't know.
Like I do have close friend that you rescued.
Close friend. Yeah. And I just look after Corky. I think he's my, I don't know.
I assume there were probably a lot of orphans on Mandalore, which is a common thing in Star Wars to begin with, and so you get adopted by an aunt or an uncle. That seems to be
because of their
thing.
Okay, because of their past and because of how many wars there had been.
Yeah, a lot of missing parents in Star Wars in particular, but I like to hold on to the belief that like maybe he belongs to one of the Kryze sisters for realsies, but chosen family is just as valid as bloodline family. Sure. Also, I'm like literally hoping for Corky to return in some form of media, which has made me like the craziest person on the network. So yeah. But thank you for your insight into that, and we will will this into existence for you and Katie to be together. And we won't ask you about Corky, but we may ask you other weird, deep Mandalore stuff. And I know there's been some in the chat. There's a lot of questions. We're going to get to some of those in a bit. But you mentioned with the Mando TV show, you were at the start of it, like with season 2 of everything. Do you get asked all the time, like, are you coming into Ahsoka or next season of Mando or any of that? Yeah, we'd love to see a flashback with you.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, no, I get asked that all the time, and I would love that. That sounds wonderful. And I'm still hoping that something like that will happen. So, that would be amazing.
We've seen you in the cosplay, which actually brings us to the other thing we wanted to talk to you about. There was a wedding that you and James Arnold Taylor officiated. Can you tell? I don't know how many people in the chat know about this. Can you tell everyone like the background of how all that came to be, and what you and James did? Because I thought it was the sweetest thing I'd ever seen.
Hold on, why am I blanking on Jesse's husband's name? I'm sorry, Jesse. Jesse. What is Jesse's husband's? I'm sorry. Why am I because you asked me about it. And I didn't know. Jessie and her husband.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, long story short, there was a beautiful couple that had met, I think in the Mandalorian Mercs. I'm sorry if I'm messing up the story, babe. But she was Satine, he was Obi-Wan. They were at a Halloween party. Watch it be like a Christmas party, and it was a 501st party. And I was just like, well, yeah, I got
Don't
it.
join the chat incorrect. It's all it's the feeling
right.
that we got to get right. Yeah.
My brain. So yeah, they met, they fell in love, and they were getting married, and they thought, oh, wouldn't that be cute if we could get the blessing of Obi-Wan and Satine? But then it kept the requests kept coming, and then it got to the point where it was, hey, I wish we could get you to officiate our wedding. And so I reached out to James, and we were buddies, and I was like, hey, have you do you know about this? That people are asking us to officiate their wedding. And I think he was aware of it, or he had seen something. And so we talked about it, and he said, well, let's do it. Let's do it. Because he had been to Salt Lake FanX before, and he knew the person who was running it. And he's like, maybe I can just, because it was happening really fast. This was happening a couple of weeks from that point. So we got it coordinated that we could come and do some signings at the con and be there and be a part of the wedding. So we surprised the couple, and we called them and we said, we would like to come and officiate your wedding, your Mandalorian Jedi wedding. And they were so lovely. And so we came, we went, and this was in 2016, I think, 2017. So we came to Salt Lake FanX, and we got to officiate this wedding. Now, the couple, yes, they had already been married in their church, but this was their cosplay wedding. This was their wedding. They had their wedding with like their family. This was their wedding with their friends. This was their wedding with their 501st members, their Mandalorian mercs. So there were about 75 Mandos there. There were some stormtroopers. There were some, oh my gosh, there were everybody there. Everybody was there. Anakin was there. Obi-Wan. So the bride and groom dressed as Obi-Wan and Satine. James and I dressed in according colors, but let them do the cosplay. And then we had the wonderful writer of Star Wars: The Clone Wars, Henry Gilroy, write a special... what do you call it? The script,
like a reading.
Married, yeah. So he was a very special Mandalorian and Jedi wedding ceremony that he wrote specifically for this, and it was amazing. So you can see the whole thing on YouTube. It's actually available.
Oh my gosh!
I watched it on YouTube. This like random couple get married by YouTube, and I was like, "This is like
that's
the sweetest
amazing."
thing. Yeah, we'll find the link and we'll drop it for everyone because it was very cool.
Very cool.
That's amazing. Thank you for doing that. That's one of the things I think about the Star Wars fandom is, and it's both the people and the people who created the show. There's a lot of this intertwining and love that flows in both directions. So I thought that was incredibly generous of you and James to do that.
Oh, that wasn't even a matter, I think, of being generous. It was just, and I'm still trying to find Jesse's husband's name.
I'm gonna find it.
I want to say Chris, but I'm wrong. But yeah, no, it was just like it's very lucky. Like I feel very lucky to get to do things like that, and that someone wants me to be a big part of their life, like getting married to your life partner or anything with your or just bringing your kids to meet me, and trusting that I'm not going to be a jerk. And sometimes you're so excited to meet your heroes, and you're so excited to meet someone, and they're not pleasant to your family member. That's terrible. But I'm just so happy when I get to meet people who appreciate what I've gotten to do.
So are you enjoying the conventions? I know you're going to be down in my neck of the woods here soon.
I am. Next week? So yeah, it's not this weekend. It's the weekend after that. So I think it's what is that? Saturday, July. Oh my gosh, June. What month are we in? June 14th. Morganton, North Carolina. There's Morganton Comic-Con at this really cool comic book shop. So I know Clone Wars characters appear in some of the Dark Horse comic books. I wanted to do even more research about that because I'm not a comic book collector, but if you are a Clone Wars comic book collector, come see me and bring it to me and show it to me because I would love to meet you.
Fantastic. And we'll have Skip down there.
It's
on the ground for everyone. So you can hang out with Skip, you can meet Anna. That's gonna be a blast. You mentioned Leia a few times, and I think for anyone, some people in the chat know, some people might not. You've shown us the action figure. You played Leia in Disney Xfinity.
Infinity, yeah.
Infinity.
I always call it Xfinity. Yeah, Infinity. Disney Infinity. How did that come about? And I know it also led to the Ladies of Leia. So I want to hear all about that because we are very good friends with Julie Dolan.
Oh, I love Julie. Yes. So I had gotten cast doing, I think my first audition for anything Princess Leia was for an app, a pinball app, Star Wars app. And I got it and I recorded it and it was really fun. And then I did the Battle Pod arcade game, where the giant thing that you can go in and you can like actually you've got the shooters
Oh
and
my
you're
God, yeah.
on the speeder bike and you're flying through Endor. Sorry, my bad. So you're flying through Endor, and it was so funny too because during the session I said, "So I am Leia on the speeder," and he's like, "Well, unofficially, but officially." And I said, I'm Leia. So I was being, Leia. And then that led to doing Disney Infinity 3.0. So it was an offer. It wasn't something I auditioned for. And I was so excited because it was the most Princess Leia that I had gotten to voice. So what a great game. A huge swath of wonderful, wonderful Disney characters brought together into one game. And I know they took it offline a long time ago, but I think people can still play the game, just not online.
Right. You can still play with, like, if you have the figures and you still have, like, your PlayStation 4 set up, you can still play that way. You can't go online and play with other people, but, like, I'm telling you, the designs for the figures were adorable.
So adorable. So adorable. I love them so much. There you go. There she is. And I happened to be at the Disney store I don't know, like a year or two after that, and they had some of the Toy Box ones, and I was talking to somebody who worked there, and he was talking so much about Clone Wars that I was like, okay, I can't not say anything. So then I told him who I was, and he freaked out, and and then we started talking about games and different Star Wars characters I had done, and he said, oh my gosh, hold on, and he brought this from the back, and he had 5 of them. He said, would you mind signing these for the store? And I said, yes, absolutely. So I signed 5 of them, and then I bought this one because he didn't give it to me for free because it wasn't his place to do it because he was an employee of the store. He didn't want to do anything illegal. So I said, I'll buy this one. So I bought it and I brought it home. So who knows what happened to the other 4?
That is lovely. It's great to have a trophy too of like the accomplishment and everything.
Oh my God,
and,
yeah.
And Leia is such an iconic character, and now you're part of that circle with Carrie. And then we had Julie Dolan on our Rebel show, and she talked extensively about meeting you and Misty, and that is so. I feel
like Misty gave this to me. I feel like because this feels like a Misty gift. But no, I have continued to be very close with Misty and Shelby and Julie and Kat, and we're we sort of, long story short, I ran into Misty at an audition and I said, oh my goodness, you played Leia in Battlefront. I played Leia in Disney Infinity. This is so good to meet you. So then we became friends on Twitter, and because it was called Twitter back then, kids. And then I think I saw Shelby on Forces of Destiny, and I DM'd her and I said, oh my gosh, you're so wonderful. Bravo. Congratulations on Forces of Destiny. I'm Anna. And then I think too, some of them already knew each other too. So we kind of all connected. And I think it was Misty who said, let's just go to lunch. And I said, okay, great, let's do it. So we had lunch a couple of times, but then after the second or third time, we decided, oh, we're the Leias who lunch. We are the because that's how we all knew each other. And none of us, Princess Leia is such a iconic character. No one actor owns her, or I say gets to claim her. So we all understood that. We were all really cool with each other and not competitive with the fact that we had all voiced this very iconic yet the same character. So it just became like a fun thing that we could connect with.
Yeah, I love that. There was a time when I was back when I was still Topps, because I've had all 5-6 of you ladies sign autographs for me for trading cards and photos and everything. You're all in there as Leia, so everyone can look that up in the various card sets. We were thinking for Star Wars Celebration 2020, since it was going to be LA focused, like, could we do a Ladies of Leia like a one day get all of you in together or something? Because that's right after like Battlefront had come out and Forces of Destiny was brand new. Right. Like that would have been a moment right there. And then 2020 was a very different 2020 than I think any of us had imagined. Yeah, but that would have been very cool. I still think you could tour the country together. Oh yeah, what's Troy's comment?
Troy's comment. The Red Hot Ear Buns Club.
Yeah. I love it.
Exactly. The hair buns.
I did want to jump into the comments because I have a couple questions here. We're going to do a little rapid fire from the comments. Karis is asking, I need to know what outfit or jewelry piece of Satine's Anna would like to wear.
Oh, oh my gosh, girl, that's a good question. I don't, I love her belt. The earrings are great, but I mean, right now, the funny thing about us voice actors is we get used to not wearing earrings because of headphones, and we get used to not wearing jingly jewelry or wearing perfume because we're in the booth with people. So it's these silly little things that things we get into with ourselves. But her belt, I love her belt so much, and I would wear that. I would wear that with like cute wraparound dresses or a tank dress that just needed a belt. I would wear that belt. So
Excellent.
So cool.
that's it.
And
Karis.
Annie was saying that she has 5 of the same Satine dresses from Her Universe. We all love Her Universe. Thank you, Ashley.
Thank you, Ashley, for giving us her universe. I love
That's
it
where you
so
can find the
much.
merch. Yeah.
That's where you can find the merch. Yeah, the cloak and the dress.
I love the story of how that got put together.
Oh, it's such a great story. It's so genius. And isn't that just the thing, right? Like Ashley was meant to be Ahsoka. If she wasn't Ahsoka, there might not be a Her Universe. I don't think I would have done that. I don't think I have that business head that I would have been, you know what's missing?
I love how Dave's telling her, girls don't wear Star Wars gear. And she's like, yeah, let me show you. Boom.
Yeah. Yes, we
Universe.
do. Yes, we do. We've been buying the boy gear for many, many, many years. So now we just have something that's, cut for girls.
I met a lot of women wearing a lot of boxy T-shirts for a long time. It's so much better now. As a longtime geek, I'm sure you felt like the same way that I did, where it was like, why we need better gear for everyone.
Yeah, better gear for everyone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, we're asking for Satine Funko Pops, please. And
Oh,
thank you.
yes. Thank you,
Yeah.
girl. I don't know where the Funko Pop is.
Yeah, we gotta get one.
Shocking that one does not exist, and yet we have how many Max Rebos now? I don't know.
Can I just tell you, so many people asked me about it on social media that I actually went to the Funko Pop store and I was like, oh, you can request a character. So I did it and I requested Duchess Satine. And then I put the link on Twitter at the time. I was like, okay, if you guys want a Funko Pop, please go request it because here's the link. Because unfortunately, I don't know anybody at Funko Pop. So Funko Pop, we need you.
Yeah, I have no contacts there anymore. When I was at Topps, I could at least say if you go on eBay and you search for Duchess Satine or Satine Kryze or any of those, you will find Topps trading cards and you'll find your autograph among the selection. So the best merch is actually mostly Anna Graves autographs and trading cards from Topps. So I feel excited that at least I had a small part in what merch does exist of the Duchess.
Thank you, Mark.
And then Spencer is saying that not only does Sam owe you an apology, so does Katie. So we'll get that out of her too. We'll just accost her at the show with a microphone, being like, "What do you have to say to your sister?" So that's the energy I'm going to bring.
I don't even think she's going to apologize. She's going to be like, "What do you mean? I didn't do anything wrong." Because that's Bo-Katan. She was hardcore. She was Mando all the way, and didn't want to. That's why she ended up turning, I think, on Death Watch or after Death Watch, after John's character Pre-Vizsla died. It was sort of like her moment.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll
see how she does in the movie and maybe season 4. We'll see where that goes.
Oh my gosh!
I think there's
very
also
exciting. I get so
forward.
excited, and when she was sitting on the throne in Mandalorian season 2 and everything, I'm just like
I know this is very niche. Did you see that random cosplayer who is like the befuddled Bo-Katan who lost the Darksaber and was sitting on throne? The mom calls and she, she's like, "Oh yeah, lost the Darksaber. Everything went to hell." That kind of thing. It's so funny.
See that?
I gotta find the link.
Send it to
you'll
me.
crack up. Yeah, it's very funny. Poor Bo-Katan. She's really had a lot of ups and downs.
It's true.
What else do we need to see? Okay, I need a Satine cosplay romance story. This is a good request right here. By the way, thank you everyone who's joining us to talk to Anna. We want to make sure she gets to see
yes, thank
as
you.
many of the comments as possible.
And now I know I recognize China too because she's a cosplayer too. That's so cute that Obi-Wan was like, "Hey." I know who you are. Would you
Mhm.
like to hang out? That's a good move. That's a good move. I respect it.
And then it looks like Annie's going to be doing a cosplay
Cosplay
wedding. I
wedding.
love that idea.
So my husband is going to marry me again.
We'll see if
Mhm.
James and I are available to renew your vows.
That would be really fun. With that in mind, like I know you're doing a few conventions and stuff. Are you and James? You and James should take your act on the road. I think like you'd be a great duo combo at any convention.
Thank you. We did a couple, like not last year, but the year before that. We were at Chattanooga Comic-Con, and we did one in Nashville, which he called me for that. He said, "Hey, I'm doing this convention in Nashville with Matt and Ashley. Would you like to come out?" And I said, 100%. That would be amazing. So I had the best time. So yes, I would love to do them more. I feel like a lot of conventions, and I'm going to be honest with you, don't know a lot of the characters. So sometimes when they say, "Oh, well, we already have the main characters from the show, why would we have a fourth or a fifth character?"
Yeah, 'cause the people,
If you're not as recognizable as Darth Maul, some of the convention owners don't necessarily want, they're like, "We don't know Duchess Satine." So,
have
but when they brought me out in Chattanooga, and I met so many wonderful fans like Karis, and this beautiful couple came over from England to see us in Chattanooga, and
there's Annie. Yeah,
the convention. I love you, Annie. She's so great, and now she lives in Australia. She's just a woman of the world.
Oh my god!
Oh boy, it's the morning there, isn't it? Yeah, it's already Tuesday.
It's not whatever time it is here.
Yeah.
I can tell you
But
that.
the convention owner at the time said, "Oh my goodness, we tapped some sort of Duchess Satine vein. There's so many of you running around cosplaying with your character." And I was like, I told you all.
Mhm.
So the fans, you are all so wonderful and so lovely. So thank you for those of you who have requested me at conventions and things like that. So eventually I hope to come out and meet you.
We hope you can get to Rhode Island. We've had a really strong Clone Wars constituent here. We've had Jim Cummings, who's played Hondo. We've had James, Matt, and Ashley. We've had TC Carson, who's played Mace Windu. Sam has been here. We would love to have you.
I will be
Daniel, yes.
I will be in the New England area. Ooh, it's at the beginning of the summer of 2026, but I can't say which one because I don't know if it's been announced. So, but I will be there.
Okay, sweet.
Near there.
Well, for anyone coming to Texas, I know we've talked about it a couple times. Anna will be at Boonta Eve, attached to Rebel Scum Con, and that's August 7th, 8th, 9th, that weekend out in Frisco. So we have that coming up, and of course you have your appearance in Morganton in 2 weeks, or less, or a little over a week, which is super exciting. Yeah.
So we're going to be together for Boonta Eve. Ladies and gentlemen, Boonta Eve.
I love it.
It's fantastic. I love that you can just find the voice like right there. Like that's her. If I close
The Duchess lives within me.
I can feel that. That's pretty amazing. I know we are just about at time. Was there anything that you wanted to share with the group? Anything you're working on? Anything you want to make sure we follow, or any of that before we go?
Oh, I don't need to promote anything. Thank you. I'm happily working as a voice actor, doing commercials and some promos. And I think I told you did that Audible thing for Disney, which I'm really excited when that comes out. It's been kind of a slow year because of our strike for interactive games. And that's the majority of the work I was doing was on interactive games before the strike happened last June. So hoping we come to an end with that soon. And I'm just auditioning like any working actor. I am working hard to work and hope that I get something half as good as Duchess Satine. She's just been such a lovely blessing.
And once you're in a Star Wars, you live forever. You could be like the circuit goes forever. The 50th anniversary is coming up in a couple of years. Like this franchise, it's all love, which is nice.
Yeah, it's all love. It's all love, even for the dark side.
Yeah. I want to put up this one comment from Karis. The con, this was the one where she met you. It was one of the best weekends of my life, and I met so many incredible friends from it. And that's actually the point of our whole group. Like the Virtual Cantina, we run a Facebook page that has about 100, coming up on 100,000 members, right? Like 98.5 or something.
Yeah, we're almost there.
We're so close. And
Tell
it's
all
the
your
biggest
friends.
Star Wars Celebration fan group on the planet. And we're not affiliated with Lucasfilm. It's all fan driven. It's all volunteers. We do this for fun, and we have some programming attached to it as well. But like, we're an event driven group. Like we go to conventions. We're doing this thing with Rebel Scum Con. So we're all about bringing people together, both
At Boonta
fans.
Eve. Boonta
Exactly.
Eve. I just have to
We're
keep
gonna
saying
clip all of this and use you to promote the show, like right there. Just snip it.
100%. Come see us. Wait, I do have a question. I saw that it's at a karaoke bar. Can I
Mhm.
karaoke?
Yes. You're going to be
Yes.
forced to. Spencer will actually request/demand that you karaoke with him.
All right.
He is a singer.
You'll be
Yeah.
voluntold.
I'll-
Yeah,
I'll-
voluntold.
I'll start preparing / getting nervous for that now. I
Velvet
get
Hammer.
What's
I
your
get-
song?
I just get such pressure when I get asked to do karaoke. Somebody's like, "What are you going to do? What's your song?" And I don't have. That's the thing. I never have a go-to song. You know how people are like, "Oh, you got to have a go-to." I have like 3
Mhm.
ready to go, and I've never had a go-to song. I just sort
Same.
of. I
just
feel more
pick whatever I wanna
comfortable.
do.
Yeah, like whatever I'm in the mood to do. But yeah, I as a joke, I did. Oh, one time I did do from oh, come on, people. Nicole Kidman and Ewan McGregor.
Oh, because
Moulin
Company
Rouge.
A?
Moulin Rouge. So right. So and I know. So kind of as a joke, I think somebody cut something together with Obi-Wan and Satine as being Satine and Ewan
You and
from.
James should do that at a con.
So there you go. So we should do that song. The I love you until the end of time, or whatever that song is. But yeah, something from that, or something. I don't know, or something. I don't know. I'll be in
I love
Texas.
that.
It depends on what mood
Yeah.
strikes me.
Yeah, we'll do some Beyonce.
It's raining Mandalorian.
Yeah.
It's
There we go.
raining Mandalorian men around. Yeah, let's do it.
Just falling off their jetpacks. That's amazing. I will say you did make a critical mistake by saying you could do a duet, because now Spencer will absolutely find you. By the way, he's the owner of our network, so he's thrilled you're coming, and
Good.
all of us are. We're going to have quite the contingent down in Texas.
Spencer, come with me. Thank you. Come with me.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
Spencer,
Maybe.
email me some options. We'll come up with a duet. We'll do something from Journey. I don't know. We'll do something fun or goofy or.
That thud you heard was him hitting the floor.
Yeah. We're going to party. Several people have asked about the karaoke, so I think there
happening.
are numerous people who are ready to put a microphone in their hand. We're bringing actors to an event. Do you think they're not going to find a stage?
Yeah,
So,
we're kind of goofballs like that,
Mhm.
and we're not easily embarrassed. So it's yeah.
I'm excited to see it.
Never give me a microphone.
Yeah. Skip's our door bouncer. Well, I don't think you have to bounce for this event because they have their own bouncer.
No. They've got their own guy. I
Yeah.
DJ'd for years, though, so microphones and I are great friends.
Yeah. There you go.
I want to say before we go, just a quick plug for our sponsor of the event, VIP Home Theaters. They specialize in technology for your home theater, chairs, TVs, speakers, everything. And they also have their own special event space where they host really interesting events with luxury accommodations. They're super cool. They're based in Chicago. You're going to hear more about them quite a bit as we get closer to Texas, because they are our prime sponsor. And just a reminder, in case you haven't been watching for the last hour, Anna Graves is going to be in Texas, you guys. It's going to be so exciting.
Oh my gosh.
We can't
I
wait
wish
for
I were
Boonta
going.
Eve. I know Ashley's not.
Eve.
It's going to be our audio clip for every episode now.
May the force be with you at Boonta Eve.
I love that. You got it perfectly clean. Jeff and Dave are going to get right on that. You're going to be an ad tomorrow running in the Google. But thank you so much for spending this time with us and talking to everyone.
Thank you for
We had
hanging
such
out
a
with
blast.
me. This was beautiful. I love you guys. Thank you so much, and enjoy watching the rest of the Clone Wars.
We're in season 2. We're going to see you real soon. It's going to be,
Dude, let me know when you're season 5. I'll come hang out.
We actually
We'll
barely
cry through it.
scratched. Yeah, we
Oh.
scratched the surface of The Lawless, which I've said on numerous shows before this. It is the highest ranked episode of the whole series, and it's possibly, it's usually on the listicle at the top of the list. So we'll do a little more discussion when we get to Texas about what that episode means and everything, because The Lawless is just the crown jewel of the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
I can't even think about it without being just like,
Ashley,
Oh,
it's okay. It's okay.
"Soul."
Yeah, we're gonna hold each other.
Yes.
Thank you everyone for joining. As always, be sure to follow us on all our social channels. Be sure to follow Anna. Anna, tell everyone where we can find you on social.
Come follow me. I'm Gravy Pick on Instagram, and then I think I'm Gravy Voice on Blue Sky and Threads, or maybe I'm Gravy Pick as well. I don't know my socials, Mark.
I see the Instagram down there. It's very small, but Gravy Pick. We got you on Instagram, so be sure
and
to
on
follow
Facebook,
Anna.
Anna Graves, voice actor on Facebook.
Excellent. Everyone be sure to follow Anna, and be sure to check in with the rest of us this week on the network. And next Monday, we'll be back to watch-alongs during Season 2, and keep an eye out for all the upcoming news on Ubuntu Eve and Rebel Scum Con. Thank you, everyone, for joining. I do want to, we usually say, may the force be with you. And I know we didn't have This Is the Way as a Mandalorian thing, but is there a tagline from Duchess Satine that we think we could end on? What does she usually say? She says
there's no usual. That's the nice thing about Satine is there's no usual, and she always surprised me. And what does she say? She says about the beard. I'm just not sure about the beard.
There we
I think
go.
that's a perfect way to end. Yeah. Thank you guys so much. Have a great night.
Good evening.
May the force be with you.
May the force be with you.
Hello there. Hi, I'm Mark Von Olin, the Director of Programming at the Virtual Cantina Network, and I'm here with James Arnold Taylor, the voice of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yes, I know that one well. I have the high ground if I... Wait, yes. Thank you. Now I have the high ground. And you are watching Clone Wars Revisited. This is the show you're looking for.